What's going on today, birthday boys? I, as always, am Eric Biggs. We got Julio Shaver Chavez back there manning all of our cameras.
Say it right one time.
I don't know, what was your...
El Fantástico.
El Fantástico. The man, the myth, the high socked legend. As always, JP. And then today, unfortunately, Cody got lost in Orlando, and we think it's drug charges. We don't know yet. We don't want to say. So thankfully today, we hit up the one, the only Hunter Parker.
What's up, guys?
And he's going to be joining us today. Hunter, start off, just thank you very much for being here. Big fan.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
We met out at the mic scene, and we've kind of got to know each other a little bit. And I was like, I got to have this much more handsome man than me on the podcast. You know, we have a rule: we can only have one fat guy per episode. So I had to find another fit white and get you in here. But you were saying right before we started this that you're a big adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, it's just a good time, like being able to chase kind of those fun experiences. I'm trying to think about what I've really done. Like, I think it kind of started off with just like bridge jumping when I was a kid.
Okay.
I was 12, and the first time I did it though, it's my buddy's birthday party, and we all jumped off the bridge that was next to his mom's house. Of course, they were separate,
Yeah.
Broken home game.
No two parents in that household. You're jumping off bridges. Never.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I actually just back flopped and then had extreme redness and irritation for a week and a half after that.
Jesus.
That's what kind of started off, and I was like, I love this feeling.
This is fun.
Yeah. So
okay, yeah, because that was going to be my question. If you were just full on diving into water, or because I know where I grew up, we used to go and rappel off of bridges at night.
Wow.
So you'd go and have the rappelling gear.
Yeah.
And then you'd go and do that, and then climb back up. And I only got to go one time, but my brother and a couple of his buddies had a bunch of gear, and they would do it all night, so you could still go around to some of the bridges out on gravel roads and find rope burn marks on the side of the bridge. It's I know who did that.
Yeah.
Those wild motherfuckers. But so skydiving.
Yeah, I've been skydiving.
Okay.
Yeah, I went back home in a little town called I think it was Skyhomish, Washington.
Skyhomish. You jumped out of a plane in Skyhomish.
Yeah, just because it was rural, and
Yeah.
the beauty of it was incredible. Obviously, you have to go tandem where somebody's strapped to you the whole time.
Did you feel a dick on your butt the whole
Yeah,
time? Okay.
of course.
Okay.
And I made the mistake of wearing sweatpants because they were like, hey, you're going to get a little cold because of the wind. And so I was like, bet I'll wear sweats to keep warm. And then inching out of the back of the plane, I was like, oh, cool. So this is what it feels like to be straddled by another man.
Yes, just no protection, just cheeks to butt, basically.
Literally.
Oh my God, that is so fun. Yeah. So did you only do it the one time to
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you do it again though?
Of course. But I'm just cheap, and so that was
I've heard it's pretty high.
Yeah.
A couple $100.
I got one of my best buddies. He was supposed to go with a friend, and the friend canceled, and so I went literally last minute, and I was like, we're here now.
Yeah.
But you don't actually get the pit drop feeling that I was anticipating.
Really?
Yeah. But the scariest part was definitely as soon as your feet are on the outside of the plane and you guys both kick off, my instructor turned us back, and so you just watch as the plane continues flying, and you're like, oh, cool, so this is it. If something goes wrong, that was a fun life.
Yeah. It's all right, we're gonna stop or we won't, and there's my ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was cool because the instructor actually let me take over the controls, and so he let me do spins in the air, and then there's a weightless feeling that you have the ability to get if you pull really hard to one side and then jerk it immediately back. Then you just stop for a second.
Okay, kind of like the jumping in an elevator sort of thing. But of course,
I've never done that. Yeah.
Oh really? Yeah. If you jump on an elevator right before it stops on the floor, you float for just a second because the elevator's still moving, and then yes, I've been
that's stuck in a few elevators.
Cool than what you said. I jumped out of a plane. I was I jumped in an elevator.
Yeah, no, I've been stuck in an elevator, so I definitely would not try that. It was just yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe it was just because my parents were huge growing up and they were like testing the ropes. So I was like, I'm not gonna jump. Come on, we're already.
We don't need to strain this thing anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you jump, you guys get off, some family gets on, cable snaps, they die, and you're like, I did that. I
Yeah.
jumped in the elevator, I killed a family, it's my fault.
But yeah, skydiving was a fun time. In Washington too, there's like a big mountain called Mount Rainier, and also just like on a whim, a buddy and I decided to drive up and hike. And this is still like, it's probably like June, but there's still snow at the top of the mountain,
Yeah.
and we were not in snow gear whatsoever. But we ended up just like hiking up probably like 3 miles in the snow in regular clothes. And then without sleds or anything, just sliding down the mountain, which I do not recommend, but it was a great time.
That does sound fun as shit. Did you ski much or like snowboard or anything?
Never skied or snowboarded. Yeah, I didn't really get into anything like that. It was a lot of like rock jumping, cliff jumping. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to the Barton Springs Bridge and jumped off that here in Austin, but that's a fun time.
Yeah, I haven't. I've heard about it. But
Yeah.
I haven't even made it out to Barton Springs yet, which,
That's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm always just like, I need to go, and then something either comes up or like my girl's very pale, so she burns easily. So if we spend like one day out in the sun, I can't be like, oh, hey, now the next day we should. She's like, no, I'm now damaged
Yeah.
from the sky. So
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that because I'll be out in the sun here for like an hour and a half, and I have to put on 3 layers of aloe vera that night, or it'll
Yeah.
be rough for the next week. Yeah, but that one, like the Barton Springs Bridge isn't too tall, but back home, a lot of this stuff was Washington stuff because I
Yeah.
was like an adolescent and just learning how to drive
Uh-huh.
and, start to disobey the parents.
yeah.
So I would go, we had a place called The Gorge. It's
Mm-hmm.
just where everybody hung out in the summertime, but then there was just like, 30 foot up to like 55-foot rocks
Yeah.
that we would just jump off of for no reason.
Yeah, just because you're a child.
Yeah.
You whenever there's like just like a little thing, I think in everyone's mind whenever you're like 12 to 18, where you see something high and you're like, I think I should fall off of that.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe you shouldn't, but, and then also, were you like the wildest friend, or did you have another guy that was always like, let's jump off of that, and then you were like, fuck it, why not, I enjoy this? Like, were you the pusher of the adrenaline, or just the join in?
I was lucky enough to have one of each. So sometimes I'd be the pusher, sometimes somebody would push me.
Yeah.
But it always, like, I've found that kind of everywhere that I've gone, because even here it'll just be like the end of a night after drinking, and then it'll be like, hey, let's go climb this building real quick and then hang out up
Yeah.
there. And it's like, yeah. But it's fun to be a degenerate, especially at this age. I still, like, low-key feel like I'm invincible, and nothing has terribly happened yet to make me think otherwise. So, yeah. But my mom's always been terrified of it, because when she was like 17, she jumped off a rock and just shattered her ankle, and it never healed properly. And so every time that I jump off, I'm like, hopefully this isn't altering the rest of my life. But it's a good time.
You literally live next to the consequences, and you're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, what am I gonna do? Be a bitch?
Yeah.
Not have fun?
No, it's sad how effective no balls works on me. If
Yeah.
people are like, no balls, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to do it now.
What do I want to look like, a pussy in front of my friends?
Exactly.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I thankfully we had like one friend in my friend group growing up who was just way dumber than all the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
So before any of us could even like formulate a bad idea, he was already in the midst of a worse idea.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what the fuck? So like you just get to see mayhem ensue at all times, and you'd be like, all right, that kind of hit the niche. Like,
It's the best way to live, though, because you get so many stories out of it.
oh yeah.
You get very strange connections because you just get insane people who are like, hey, you want to see me jump from like the top of this tree right now and
Yeah.
do like a backflip? And it's like, yeah, cool, do it.
Yeah.
If you die, I don't swim that well, but
Yeah,
I'll
it's
try
like,
to help.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll call someone to find your body, maybe. Depending on how much we liked you.
Exactly.
You know?
It's like, I don't even know their last name. So how important are they really to me?
That is the best thing. Whenever you're around somebody that gets a little bit too wild, and you're like, you know, I don't actually have any connection to you. So if
Yeah.
anything terrible happens, I'd just be like, oh.
Yeah, if you go missing, it's like, hey, he was cool.
I think his name was Dave.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. So did you like do anything crazy like driving wise? Were you,
No,
like,
I was
ever-
never into I was never like a car guy in any regard. So I never did anything like that. But I was always just kind of drawn to the water. Like I remember one time I went and was snorkeling. This was like in Maui for no reason at all too.
Yeah.
And then among that, what happened is there were not really any fish present. And so we decided to go up. I was also with my family. I'm a big family guy. So ladies, if you're looking for a family man.
The one, the only. He'll jump off a cliff and make you worried, and then hug his mom.
Yeah.
How wet are you right now?
We have one female subscriber, bro. But
Yeah, and she's soaked.
Hey, hell yeah, hit me up, you know. But back to mom was actually with me on like the snorkeling experience, and
Yeah.
she wasn't participating, and there were no fish, but she gets seasick, and so we started just riling her up to the point where she threw up over the side of the boat, and all of the fish just swarmed instantly.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They were just like chumming the water.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ. Imagine if you did that and then you got ate by a shark because your mom vomited in the water.
That would also be sick.
Do you know
That'd be a
how
great story.
funny that would be of a
Yeah.
story like young boy gets eaten by shark because he bothered his mom too much.
She's like, I brought you into this world, and I'm making sure you're taken out of it.
Yeah. Trying to climb back on the boat. She's like, no. It was funny, wasn't it?
But it's fun to like annoy people in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But have you ever done any like water sports or anything like that?
So, not really. Like, we didn't have any, like, oceans or anything like that by us in Missouri. We were, center of the country. But I went water skiing a couple times.
Yeah.
I was never really that great. Like, I could always get up, but then I couldn't really, like, do it. Like, one of my buddies, he would water ski with just one ski.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that way I can jump more and, like, all this. So, like, he would be, like, cutting across. And, like, I would just get up and be like, I'm up. This is fun. Like, that was kind of the limit, like, my water skiing, like, my water sport stuff. And, like,
It's so surprising you don't have a natural athleticism to allow you to do jumps on water skis.
yeah, hey, no, you know what? I was pretty good until I discovered beer and working a lot. But, no, the water stuff I never really got super into. Like, I was always more of like I'd fuck around in cars a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'd go out like drifting and shit. Like, anytime an ice storm came in and it was like the news came out and it was like, everyone stay home, guarantee me and my buddy were out in trucks. Like, that's if it's like there's an ice storm hitting at night, we're like, perfect, let's go gravel roading all night.
Wow.
So
No, that's the exact opposite for me. Because, the year that I turned, 16 and I was really driving, we had an ice storm hit. And my buddy took his truck out, and he wasn't even doing anything crazy.
Yeah.
He ended up just taking this left turn and just completely totaling his truck, smashing somebody's fence. He rolled into a ditch.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, I think I'm good. I don't
Yeah.
think that I need to be a part of that lifestyle.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a control freak when it comes to driving, but I also drive like a grandma. So
I don't think you drive like that much of a grandma. I would disagree because you cut off like 4 people whenever we rode
that's
together
in the
across
city. That
Austin.
doesn't count. That doesn't count.
You cut off that one lady and then you're like, everyone wave at her. And I'm like, okay.
Got to make sure you're nice to everybody
Yeah.
after you ruin their day.
Yeah, after we cut off this bitch in a Nissan Altima. But yeah, no, see, I always liked fucking around in cars and stuff just because there wasn't a lot to do.
Yeah.
So, like, it was like, oh, you go driving. So we all kind of figured out, like, oh, like, these are the best, like, roads to, like, go drift on or, like, learn how to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, dude, anytime an ice storm would hit, me and my buddy, we load up in the truck and just take out all night.
Yeah.
And plenty of times we'd, slide off the road or whatever. Like, one time we were coming around a corner and he hit it a little bit too fast and we, like, fell down into this ditch.
You say that so casually. You're just like, yeah, we just like slid off the road. It was
Yeah,
a good time.
I mean, it wasn't that
It
big
was a
of deal.
Tuesday. Come
Yeah,
on.
so, so like that one, I wasn't even worried. So like we slid off and I was like, oh shit, now what are we gonna do? And he goes, I guess this. And he just puts the truck in low and just slams on the gas. And we crawl right out. And I was like, okay, cool enough. But one of my other buddies, he destroyed every car he ever drove.
Yeah.
And he had destroyed his mom's car and his car within like a couple of weeks of each other, and they were both in the shop. So he drove his sister's car to school one day, who wasn't old enough to drive yet, but she had like just bought this little like Golf, the little like Volkswagen Golf.
Yeah.
And he gets in it. We get into it after school, and he's like, "Hey, you want to ride with me? You know, we'll take off, whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool." So I jump in, and we pull out of the school, and we pass my mom. And my mom calls me because she like sees us and knows the car and knows Hunter, my buddy, and is like, she calls me and she goes, "Hey, I know Hunter drives like a fucking idiot. So like, just make him drive careful. Don't do anything stupid." I was like, "We won't do anything stupid, whatever." And we're flying down this gravel road, like as I'm having this conversation, and I hang up, and he goes, "Watch this." Tries to drift around this corner, pulls the e-brake. We smash into this ditch, but it was like a ditch with then like an embankment up.
Holy
and
shit.
we hit, the whole car like leans up and then flops back over, and I go, "Dude, I just got off the phone with my mom. What the fuck?" Like, I literally just said, "Nah, we'll be fine." He goes, boom, hits down, and I'm like, "Well, now what are we gonna fucking do?" And he's like, "This." Smashes into first, rocks it and goes out, and I'm like, "You're a fucking psychopath."
Yeah. No, I think maybe that's just something in common with the name Hunters, because the dumb actions, but I put limiting factors on myself, because with the car that I have, it's a 4-cylinder, it's a 2.0 liter. So I'm like, come on now. I can't even get up, like my 0 to 60 time is eventually. That's what it is.
However, you can have a lot of fun under 20 miles an hour if you just are in fun environments.
Yeah.
You know, just like empty parking lots with ice and snow, dude. You ain't gotta be going fast. You just want to be sideways like an asshole.
Maybe I gotta try that out this weekend.
Yeah.
How many injuries have you had from that?
From vehicles, none.
That's insane.
I totaled one truck. Well, I didn't even really total it. It just was already a piece of shit. And I was driving back from my girlfriend's house. I dropped her off, and it was a little Ford Ranger. It was the first truck I ever bought. And I was driving back from her house, and her house was out on these gravel roads, and they had giant potholes. And it was icy and shit. And we hit this giant pothole, or I hit this giant pothole. I'd already dropped her off, and because it was so light, the back end kicked out, and I was on ice, and I slid sideways, smashed into like one of those like medium-sized dumpsters, the ones that you would see in like the back, the back alleys, like Sixth and stuff. I flipped it over. And then from hitting it, it smashed me like down into a ditch. And I was like, fuck, whatever. And it punctured a giant hole through the bed from like the little hook handle where the trash trucks pick it up. So it smashed that like through the bed and like caved in the side of the bed and stuff. And I had to call my dad to come out and like pull me out and tow the truck home.
Yeah.
And I called him. I was like, "Are you mad?" And he's like, "No, you're the dumbass that wrecked the truck you bought. This is your fault."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's a good point."
That's a nice way of looking at it, though, to be like, hey, as long as you're safe,
he's
and
like,
you didn't die.
Yeah,
like,
he's like, "It was the vehicle that you just fucked up something you spent money on. It's not my fault."
Yeah. I think the craziest thing I ever did in a car is I was out, and I was on a finals trip when I was back in like a natural resources program.
Yeah.
And what we would do is for the finals trip, we had to basically navigate for like 8 miles or something and just like make our way back.
Yeah.
But in the evenings, because we were just camping essentially, we would all just like drink. And this gal that I was with at the time, she was on the trip with me.
Yeah.
She was like, "Hop in, we're going to go with the rest of the boys and we're just going to go like shoot at the mountain right now to practice."
Nice.
I was like, "Yeah, sounds like a good time." She was like, "Don't worry, I haven't been drinking." And I was like, "Oh, I don't think that really matters. We're on back roads."
Yeah.
I realized she said that because she had a breathalyzer in her car. And she was like, "Hey, but it's okay. I just smoke now."
That's a wild bitch, dude.
Yeah.
How old was she?
She was probably like 25 at the time, and I was probably like 16, 17, somewhere in there. Yeah.
And she already had a fucking breathalyzer in her car.
Yeah. Like a good American woman. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you mean like a patriot?
Exactly.
An American hero?
If you haven't gotten a DUI by the time you're 25, what are you really doing in this world?
Yeah, I know. I got to get on it. JP, give me 17 more beers.
You guys look like you can be like in a movie together, man. like doing all this white people stuff you guys are talking about right now and shit, dude. Because this is only like white people stuff, right? Like
you didn't do any of this. You didn't have fun. You
bro,
just hid from border patrol and.
Here's what I mean. Okay, look, danger and stuff. That's never anything we went looking for. No way, dude. We went looking for chicks and drugs, bro. I guess that's kind of dangerous. I mean, pregnancy and ODing and shit. I mean, most adrenaline, like, bringing shit I've ever done is like shooting up cocaine or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've never done that.
Yeah.
That's where we go. I mean, I don't like driving fast. I'm not jumping off shit or climbing shit ever.
It is kind of wild that we're both like, you're like, oh yeah, I'll jump off shit. And I'm like, I drive in dangerous conditions. And then he's like, cocaine. And we're like,
come on, drugs?
Whoa. What am I going to do? Injure myself?
Yeah. No, I never really chased women like that. Because, like, my mom had me at 19, so my biggest fear was always, like, having a kid.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care if I break my arm jumping off this, but I'm like, whoa, a pregnancy? I don't want to ruin the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might permanently injure my body and be a cripple, but what do I want to do? Have a kid to take care of?
Exactly.
A shot? Gross. Yeah. No, I still feel that way. I'm still like, a kid, that's the worst thing that could happen. Like,
yeah.
Die in a fiery car accident, no big deal. Have a kid? Whoo!
Yeah.
But I do like where you're going with this. The movie idea. If we were gonna write like a buddy like a 90s buddy comedy.
Yeah, dude. Like you guys look like you would fit doing all this crazy car shit, or like a party movie, like White Boy Summer kind of shit. You know. Yeah. That I totally see it, dude. Like I'm looking at a monitor. These guys, I don't know. They can't see. See, check it out.
We'd be like Joe Dirt. I don't know. I don't even think I've seen the movie, but white trash is what comes into my mind with what he's saying. And I was like, oh, that sounds accurate.
Yeah, the movie with the general car. What's that show?
Dukes of Hazzard?
The Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, that's what you guys
general car?
Yeah. I knew the car name, bro.
Hey, you got the reference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like that could be fun. Where would we set our movie to take place?
Austin, Texas, 1970 though.
1970?
1970.
Yes. Look,
okay.
You got
basically Matthew McConaughey over here.
There you go.
And then the only fat kid in 1970. Literally the only person overweight in all of the year of 1970 that's in their 20s. Everyone else was strung out on coke. And then it's just me, and I'm just like, I've only found beer. Drinking only Natural Light cans, or Natural Light that has the square opening, or the triangle, or whatever. I like this.
You guys write the movie, man.
All right.
True. I mean, like, the opening scene, it would just be some real, like, white trash shit. Like, you're, like, skidding around the corner, and then I'm doing, like, a flip over the car into the water, and we both somehow drown. Like, that's the ending of the movie. It was, like, based on a true story. They had a great time.
Yeah. Yeah, like the whole movie just revolves around the end scene where you go into the water and then I accidentally drive the car into the water and kill you, and then I can't get out because I'm drunk. We just die in Lake Austin. The first to go in Lady Bird Lake.
I feel like we're living the dreams of white people. That's what it is all across the country.
Yeah.
Just...
I try to represent for the whites, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like not enough of them are out here living the dream, so I try to live it up extra.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about, like, other things that I've done that were that white. I think, like, jet skiing.
That is a pretty white activity.
It's so white, because I just happened to know a gal that I was dating at the time, and her family had some, and then we would, like, ride in each other's wakes, and so you'd, like, create the waves and then do jumps off the other person's wake, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. Let me just fall off and then never be able to get back on again. But, yeah, I can't really swim that well.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
You've done nothing but talk about jumping into bodies of water, and you're like, I'm a bad swimmer, though.
Yeah, I can, like, get by, but no. Tread in water is, like, one of my biggest fears. Yeah. I was going to join the Navy when I was growing up, too, and then I was like, the swimming, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that was the only thing. You're like, getting shot at by another boat. what if I lived through the boat attack and I had to swim?
Exactly.
I'm not worried about us getting shot by missiles. I'm worried about having a doggy paddle.
I'm worried about having to blow up my fucking floaties while I'm in the water. Just so I can survive. Yeah.
You just got a little pump around the little ring. You just get a little duck head and you're like,
Yeah.
I hope the sharks don't come.
Yeah.
Well, that would be fantastic. That you don't know how to swim that well, but you're like, I love jumping into water. You might have a real adrenaline problem. You're like, I like feeling like I'm about to die.
It adds to the fear, I'll tell you what. If you're like, I don't know if I'm going to make it to the other side, you're like, woo! Let's do this again.
Yeah, that'd be like me being like, oh yeah, I did all this driving and stuff, but I never really learned how to drive. I was just 12. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So, all right, in our buddy comedy movie, you would go and die from drowning in a small body of water. Like, let's say like
it's like an above ground pool.
Yeah, like an
above
above
ground to jump over.
Yeah, saying you just like hurt your legs so you can't like stand up and you're just like yeah.
I feel like that's a real patriot move right there, though.
Dying in an above ground pool, not knowing how to swim?
Yeah. Were you a big slip and slide kid growing up?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
where you get like the oil or like the bubble bath stuff and
Yeah.
you just...
Dude, yeah. Is that white people shit, JP? Or slip and slides white people shit? You guys couldn't run the water that long? Have a Choco thrown at you or something?
No, yeah. We just we lined ours with margaritas instead. That's
Oh,
what we
okay.
did.
Okay, there's just tacos at the
Tequila
end.
and salsa,
Yeah. You just rub salt all over your body. I am the rim.
but you did pique my interest when you said oil. You guys are putting oil on your shit down there?
That's how you slide faster. Yeah. So there's less friction.
Yeah, like
Especially-
cooking oil.
Yeah, or like baby oil or anything.
Yeah, or like baby oil.
exactly.
Oh, then it gets all on your body and shit. Count me out, man. I'll raw dog that slip and slide any day, buddy.
Do you see this man's shoulders? He's just trying to glisten in the sun.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
he can't find an excuse to just rub baby oil on himself like an asshole. So he's like, I'll just put it on the slip and slide. I get the first 7 turns, guys. And they're like, why do you keep on going down in different positions? I don't know. I just think it's fun. You know, get the front, the back, the legs.
Exactly. You got to make sure you're glistening all over. No.
Yeah.
Because I've always been this white too. It's kind of irritating. And so my mom would always do like sunscreen, like covering the body. Yeah. And so I always found a way to wash it off immediately so that I could just burn and get sunspots.
Yeah.
But the glistening was always a good time.
Yeah. Just a nice shimmer. A nice shimmer of light out here.
Exactly. Because like I don't know if you're familiar with like Forks. Where like Twilight was.
Oh, you mean like the thing you eat with? I'm very familiar.
No, what you curl your hair with in the Little Mermaid movie. Yeah, that was a reach.
Yeah.
Thought maybe you'd seen the new Black Little Mermaid. I should have known by looking at us. Neither of us have seen it. Come on now.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Forks,
Diversity and happiness while singing. Count me out.
But like between where I grew up in Oregon and Washington was Forks, where like Twilight was filmed, and so that's always what I've been associated with because of the way that I looked. Okay. So I've been called a little Casper, a little vampire boy.
Okay. So wait, so Forks is a place? I'm still confused.
it's a place.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's just like where they
it's
shot
like
Twilight.
Okay, so they just like made haunted shit there.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
I guess I shouldn't I really liked Twilight growing up, which I don't know that
like
I
the old black
openly
and
admit.
white.
No.
Oh,
I'm talking about the vampires that
Jesus Christ.
You're like the Twilight Zone? Yeah, that was my shit.
Yeah, like those were so cool and spooky, and you're like, no.
No.
Pale men glistening.
I want to hear drama. I want to hear a woman fighting over a vampire and a werewolf, deciding who's going to have her child.
Have you been feeling sad,
Irritated,
annoyed,
constipated,
lonely,
bloated,
weak?
gay?
Well, guess what? Maybe Birthday Boys is for you. If you want to feel happy,
Constipated,
lonely,
bloated,
weak,
gay.
then maybe you should try Birthday Boys today. You can subscribe, You could donate to our Patreon.
Side effects include BDE, sexiness, and boners.
Cheers to the birthday boys.
I'm still gay.
Yeah, see, I didn't get into the Twilight stuff. I missed that boat. I was fully convinced you were talking about Twilight Zone. Did you read the books?
No,
Also?
I'm not that gay. Come on.
Okay,
No.
okay.
But I was just raised by like the women, and so that was a big thing. Anything that was dramatic like that. My stepsister loved the movies.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I just watched them pretty frequently.
Wait, was your stepsister black?
Yeah.
Black girls liked Twilight too?
She was a little whitewashed.
Oh,
I'm not
okay,
Gonna, yeah,
okay,
I'm gonna,
okay.
I don't know if
I was
she's seen
gonna
it
say-
before meeting my mom. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Like,
all
no,
right.
it's
Yeah,
definitely...
because I was gonna say, I was like, dude, I thought that was like the whitest shit ever to be like into Twilight. So
Yeah.
never mind.
It definitely was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought my whole childhood was wrong. I was like, what?
Yeah. What movies did you grow up on?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking. I don't know. I feel like I watched a lot of like normal.
American History X.
Yeah. You know.
That's probably his favorite.
My Lord and Savior. No.
I watched God's Not Dead like 100 times.
Yeah,
that was my shit.
I just have it tattooed on my back, the entire script. No, I mean, I feel like I watched a lot of war movies growing up just because, like, my dad was in the military.
Oh.
So, just anytime, like, any of that kind of stuff came on, we'd watch it a lot. The Patriot with, what the fuck is
Mel
his
Gibson?
name? Mel Gibson.
Right, that was a cool flick.
Yeah, anytime that movie comes on still to this day, my dad watches it. Like,
Yeah.
if he's going through the TV and it's on, you just know where he's going to be for the next 3 hours. Just, oh, yeah, I like this part. And you're like, all right, cool, man. But yeah, I feel like I watched a lot of that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think of some of the, like, more kid shit that I watched.
No, it definitely like fits your personality to be like, yeah, American Sniper, that was my favorite movie growing up.
Oh,
Like,
dude, it definitely
yeah.
for a period of time was. It definitely, like, I watched it and I was like, fucking Chris Kyle, dude. The fucking hero. Like, yeah, no, definitely. There was a lot of war movies, there's a lot of like Vietnam movies and stuff, and yeah, probably was a problematic thing for just like a young kid to be like, I love this shit.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of that.
Really?
No, like not at all.
Well, I guess with Two Mom, they
Yeah.
probably were not like, you want to see people get shot in the face?
Yeah. No,
Want to
but
check this out?
I even remember
Yeah.
like because I wanted to be like masculine, but then I still loved those movies, so I'd wait till everybody went to sleep, and I'd
then
like
you-
watch The Fault in Our Stars alone, and I was like, this is where it's at, man.
That's wild.
Yeah, no, I
That's
just
wild.
embrace it. I'm like, you know what? The Notebook might be the best movie of all time.
Yeah. See, I mean, I was really into all the like superhero movies and stuff. So like I got into the I don't know. I feel like most like basic dude movies from like our era, because I mean we're pretty close to the same age.
Yeah.
So I feel like just most like basic guy movies is pretty well everything I watched. Yeah. I think I watched The Fault in Our Stars one. That's the one where they have cancer, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That shit was sad. I was not. That was a
Yeah.
real. You're into white bummer movies.
I'm
aren't
into
you?
white bummer movies.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. My favorite growing up was Forrest Gump and Radio. And so I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
let these dum-dums have the show, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
always like, I don't know,
That
good
makes
at the
sense
end.
why you get along so well with comics. Just a bunch of chasing their dream and passion. And
Yeah.
you're like, I love this shit.
Yeah, these people, because it all works out in the end.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you die prematurely. And so,
Yeah, Jenny's a dumb crack whore, and she gets taken care of, and you know.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that was God's touch to that movie. He's like, kill this whore. Let Forrest be a happy papa. You know?
Yeah.
Forrest, you also have AIDS. So.
I think that might have been the only single dad movie in American film history.
Dude, you might be right on that.
That's yeah, I don't know.
That is a really good point. Yeah, because, I mean, I guess it doesn't really get looked at as, like, a single father, because it's just at the very end.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
that's
the
a
end.
really good point.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever...
Boys in the Hood.
Stop it.
Not on y'all's radar.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I guess I haven't watched enough. I have seen Boys in the Hood, but I guess I haven't watched it recently enough to be like, that was a... Oh, fucking the Will Smith movie. It was another white bummer, but it had Will Smith in it. Will Smith likes making white bummer movies. Have you guys noticed, like,
That makes sense.
the majority of, like, sad movies just for, like, white people to watch, Will Smith is in them. But, It's him and his son. He's trying to sell the Xerox machines or whatever.
Oh, Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness.
I don't know what it was. Something like that. It was one of those ones, but yeah.
Yeah, that was about he was a single father. That was a real white bummer movie, even though it was about a black guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. JP, did Mexicans watch that?
No.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, no, I think most of the movies that I like would come upstairs from like playing and see my mom like crying at. Usually I had like Will Smith making white bummer movies. Like he had that movie like 7 Pounds. It's all about he like killed a bunch of people in a drunk driving accident.
Damn.
And then he was just going around like giving away his organs and shit.
Oh wow.
Until he like paid it back to like 7 people, and then finally like kills himself at the end. And it's like, what the fuck?
Sick.
It's like, but yeah, I feel like he made a lot of those.
Yeah, I like white bummer films. Have you seen a similar one called Crash? Where it's just like a whole bunch of different people's perspectives and stories with all like fucked up. Yeah, they're just like all have messed up lives, and then they all like come together at the end. It was done very beautifully. I don't even. It was an older one.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that one. Yeah, white bummer films. I guess maybe that's really how you tell somebody's race. You like list off a bunch of white bummers, and if they know more than like 7, it's like, you're extra Caucasian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I like the films, but I'm like a super big optimist. Are you like an optimist, a pessimist, a realist? What do you like?
I like to tell myself that I'm like an optimist and a realist, but a lot of people in my life just tell me I'm a pessimist. They're like, you're just grumpy. I'm like, I'm just realistic. Fuck you. You know? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I like to have the idea where I'm like, oh, I'm very optimistic. Where like, I mean, I am out here pursuing something that less than 1% of people achieve at. So I like.
Very true.
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty optimistic. I just sometimes and still just be like, this is.
It's a beautiful pursuit, but I mean, you're gonna have those bad days.
Yeah.
Life's not the same without peaks and valleys. You gotta have both. If you're happy all the time, then what's the point in living?
Yeah, you're just like, you are the most positive person I've ever met. It's almost disconcerting if I didn't. If I didn't know it was genuine, it would probably freak me out. But yeah, because like I'll like see you and you're just like, what made you smile today? And I'm like, that's so wild to be like just so cheerful.
It's one of my favorite questions to ask people because a lot of times people take one bad moment out of their day and they'll let it ruin the whole thing. Yeah. But I feel like the opposite can be true. If I'm like, hey, if you fixate on one thing that happened that was good today, then it can kind of propel that positive momentum forward. Yeah. I like that. I really do like that. I'm a big fan of that kind of, because I try to be that way, but like I said, I think depending on who I'm around, like whenever I'm like my mom is always like, oh, you're very I'm like, I think you bring that out of me. Like I think you're causing that, but I think JP had some questions for us. Yeah.
Also, speaking of questions, what were what was this that you were talking about? 9 counts of heroin or something?
Yes. No. This is just the way we can get to the core of Hunter a little bit better. It's kind of like a hypothetical, right, guys? So you have 5 fingers. Imagine you can have 5 different liquids come out of each finger. What would those liquids be and why?
Does it have to be a different liquid from each finger?
Well, that's how it would make the most sense. I mean, you don't want just water to come out of all. I mean, you want to have some variety, wouldn't you? I mean.
True.
Yeah.
How much pressure do I get? Is this like 10 psi or am I shooting out of these fingers?
Oh, you're like, can you like cut something up with it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's
maybe like you have to do Kegels for your fingers and then you can control that. You know?
Oh yeah.
If you do those like 90s squeeze machine thing, just cutting into bank vaults.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
No, definitely water, just because, like, I don't know, it's the source of life, so it'd be a fun one to have.
Yeah. Get thirsty.
Yeah.
Which finger would you have the water from?
That's probably the pointer finger, because I feel like it's the most versatile, and so it's like if I accidentally shot it out, I'm not just like whatever other liquid, because I feel like, I don't know, the pinky would probably be cum, because I want to pull like a little Genghis Khan thing, just have like as many kids as possible.
These chicks are like, why are you fingering me with your pinky? And you're like, just
Hey.
trust it. They would never assume you were the dad. If you just fingered them with your pinky and then you're like, all right, I'm out. And they're like, I'm dripping. And you're like, I'm good.
Yeah,
It's a good pinky, dude. Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay, so that's wild. All right, so we got water. You got water and cum. If you do the Spider-Man fingers, you're really hitting a wild dosage out here in the world.
My favorite liquid is probably Dr. Pepper, and so that has to be one of them, just like straight out the thumb. But I don't know. It'd probably be bottled Dr. Pepper. You know what I'm saying? Because different Dr. Peppers have different flavors.
That is
you
true.
get them from different spots.
Yeah.
So the bottled is definitely the best. I like I just want a little microplastic taste in my Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that way whenever you're just like, you can just be like turning it up and people are like, what's going on? And you're like, shut up, you shoot them with cum, you know?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I don't
I'm
even
doing my squeeze machines.
So we got the thumb as Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thumbs Dr. Pepper. This is water. That's jizz.
Yeah.
So what are your middles?
I don't even. What else do you need? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What-
if you can shoot cum and Dr. Pepper, I mean,
that is it.
what else could anyone require in this world?
I feel like it would be cool to have Gatorade coming out of my middle finger, like the
Okay.
blue one, so that at any time I could just fill a huge tub up with Gatorade and just splash it on people. Like they're a coach that just won the finishing game. You know what I'm saying? Like they just won the title.
Yeah, you're just at random points. You're just like, they're like, "What are you doing?" Nothing.
Yeah, come on.
No.
Yeah.
Woo! Where'd you get a gallon of Gatorade? Don't worry about it.
Just make people feel special when you do that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm sure it's a gloriously sticky moment, you know, whenever you just get dosed with fucking Gatorade. You're like, I guess I'm a champion, but also I have to go shower.
No, that's why I got the water for. So I'm like, now take off your clothes, and I'll
let me
just.
hose you down.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah,
You're gonna spray bitches with Gatorade and then be like, I'll clean you up too.
You're the champ. All right,
Yeah.
take off your clothes, please. This is
Stick the pinky in.
Yeah. Yeah, then once they're naked. All right. There's a little HP in there, a little Hunter Parker. All right, so you got one left. And that's the shittiest finger. Cuz you can't really hardly work it on its own. What the fuck, JP?
I was like, what are you talking about?
I could do it with this one, but I cannot do it with my right hand.
Oh, I'm also double jointed in my fingers, so they like have the ability to just be a little ledge. So
It
I
looks
feel like
a
that's
little,
useful.
it looks like a little Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah,
Or
you,
like
you put the little water valve in and just turn it on. It
Oh, that'd be the other night. If that was your water, you could really do hook shots for giving people drinks. There you go. Okay. All right.
just to piss people off, I'd probably Hennessy.
Okay.
I feel like that would be a good one.
All
Just
right,
for the
yeah.
last one, just to get people crunk all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, where it's just like, here's a little bit of Dr. Pepper. There you go. There's your splash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then if I don't like them, that's when I put the Hennessy and the cum and just a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah,
So
you're just
then-
like, drink my babies, bitch. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. See, I can tell the different mindsets that we have because JP said this, and I went to all alcohol, and you were like Gatorade, water, cum. I was like, all right, how many alcohols can I say I'm gonna shoot out my fingers before everyone's like, he has a problem. Rehab.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So what did we learn here about Hunter, JP? You said we were gonna learn. We've learned he wants to finger bitches with his pinky.
Yeah.
Very well versatile.
I think he's a well-faceted young individual, man. Just a full array of everything found in this guy, man. He wants to dirty hose. He wants to clean a hose. He wants to pregnate the hose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Hennessy is a wild pick too as the liquor.
You get some drunk first too. Yeah.
Yeah, because Hennessy is that's an aggressive liquor.
Yeah. You got to go hard or go home.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, because I was like, oh yeah, you put beer in one, you put whiskey in one, you put tequila in one, and then you can have water and then
Wine for the ladies or something.
Nah, fuck
Nah, you're like,
that.
fuck them. They can pay for their own shit. This is my.
Yeah, get their own magic fingers, okay?
I had one as gasoline though.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's a power.
Plus, then I can become like a supervillain too. You know what I mean? And just like leave trails, or like maybe like flamethrow. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that's demonic as shit. Yeah, just the gasoline and light it up
Yeah.
and just be like, it was arson.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's wild. Just
I
like
mean,
finger.
You have
You
these
could
powers.
just like have a little lighter and.
It's basically a superpower, man. I mean, you could take over the world if we had these type of powers. I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
But imagine if you were shooting fire at Hunter and he just started soaking you in cum.
I bet you stop.
Who's the real loser then? Yeah. True.
Yeah, yeah. I might be on fire, but you're covered in cum. You're sticky.
I feel like that would deter all like criminals, though. If you're like, listen, the punishment, you're just gonna be head to toe soaked in cum.
Yeah.
I'd even make it more demonic than that, and I'd put them in like a I forgot his name. They're the escape artist, and I just do one of those, but instead of filling with water, just fill with cum the whole time. Just
like swimming in cum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you either sink or swim.
You'd get one wild gay guy that would just be like stealing a candy bar, just like, I don't want to go in the pit. There'd just be one wild boy that you would just be like, you know what?
He'd be like, I've been waiting for this moment my entire life, Mom.
Yeah. I've been collecting gallons of cum for years just for this point.
I think the only thing worse than like collecting cum is collecting toenails.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like shit, but toenails is an aggressive, gross thing. Like, there's nothing worse than like seeing a toenail.
I know. I saw one out yesterday, and I was like, I'm in public right now. I'm like in a regular establishment.
Yeah.
There was a nail on the ground, and I was like, this is something.
Yeah, it's kind of like whenever I have a lot of wild ants that'll go and like file their fingernails just out in public, and I'm like, that's kind of gross.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like that's really kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really a normal. Like, it happens all the time, but it's gross. It's like you're just leaving dead skin everywhere.
Yeah. I like when people are a little more discreet about it, because like being comics in the scene, we like dap people up all the time and we'll give handshakes.
Yeah.
And then I'll go and I'll watch somebody 10 minutes later like pick their nose. And I'm like, I know that you didn't wash your hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's up, my boy? And so it's the same thing, but at least they're discreet about it. Yeah. Like when you gotta like untangle your ass hair because it's like, intertwined, then it's like
it happens. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I will say COVID did do the good thing of like making the fist bump more like generally accepted.
Yeah.
You know, because it was kind of like for a while, like the fist bump was kind of like dorky and weird, but it was kind of nice to just be like, I don't fully know if we need to touch. You know, like, so like that was nice, but like anytime somebody would throw an elbow at me, like, did you ever have anybody with that?
I hate the elbows.
I'm like, how gay are you?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think
it's probably cleaner. I'm not going to lie to you. Because,
Yeah,
what does your elbow touch?
Yeah, but still, like,
It's
if I'm
so dumb.
if I'm chicken winging you.
Oh yeah, it's like I don't have respect for you. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's like I don't believe you've ever showered.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. That was definitely not one, but yeah, it was kind of nice. When I was like, oh yeah, you can just like fist bump people now, and it's just very normal. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I still like dabbing people up, like giving hugs.
Yeah, I'm a
like
big
bro
hugger.
hugs, and stuff. Like I'm a fan of that. However, I'm big sweaty all the time now in Austin with being in the middle of summer. So I try to just be like, you don't want to touch me, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
My back is wet. So
I think you get a different connection when you hug somebody too.
that is true.
You get a real embrace.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's
you feel
like
something.
It's like a nice little moment,
Yeah.
Because like you're not really hugging anybody that you like don't like at all.
Exactly. There's different levels to it because it's like elbow's the worst one. Then it's like fist bump. You're like, yeah, we're acquaintances. You go for the handshake. Okay, maybe you know each other a little bit.
Yeah.
You go for the dap. You're like, all right, we're cool.
Yeah.
You go for the dap hug. You're getting up there.
Yeah.
You go for the real hug. That's love right there.
Yeah, that's
love.
you'll kiss them on the mouth afterwards.
Yeah.
But you got to make sure that's going back and forth. But yeah, I would rather somebody just flip me off than touch my elbow, like do the elbow thing. Just be like, fuck you, get away. That's not for me.
They're just like, you are disgusting. So
Yeah.
please don't. Yeah. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Were you doing comedy during COVID at all?
Not really. I'm kind of newer to it. I did it.
Okay.
So, like, the first time I ever did it, it was kind of during COVID, but it was in 2021. And I, like, snuck into a bar just so I could, like, do comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't drink or anything. And I did it for, like, 10 times kind of in that period, but I kind of waited until I got here to really pursue it.
Get after
so
it.
I've only really been doing it since, like, June of 2022.
Fuck
so,
yeah. Well, this is an awesome place to start, but yeah, the reason I asked is the mic I used to work at all the time back in Missouri. During COVID, the second the bars opened up, but they still had all these like safety protocols, they would take a tissue with a rubber band and just put it over the microphone.
Yeah.
And then they just change out the tissue napkin every time, and I'm like,
Every time?
yeah, between every comic. Of course, at my scene there was like 9 comics.
Oh, okay. I was like,
So,
that's
like,
a lot of time.
Yeah, it wasn't like 35 like it is here in
Yeah.
Austin. So there was like 9 times. But I was always just like, man, if you're like spitting on this, now it's just soaking onto the microphone the whole time, and then you're putting a new cum rag on it.
Yeah.
So just every time I look at those old photos, it's like, it just looks like I have a shitty condom at the end of this microphone. It's like,
Yeah, you're like, what is this really protecting right now?
Nothing.
Yeah.
It was one of those things they were like, we don't want to get shut down again. Just
Yeah.
if the health and service people or whatever come in, they don't kick us all out.
Yeah.
But-
So my hometown did something similar to that, but not with comedy, with like the gym. So the gym that I would go to is the only one that was open. But what they did is they just marked all of the equipment as $1 million, like every single piece of equipment. And then they would just say, like, please try it out. So they could be like, no, we're actually not a gym. We are just selling this equipment. And
We
like,
let people try it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
funny as fuck.
Yeah.
That is so wild.
No, I definitely lived in a town where we were getting away from things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is mad. Yeah, because like in my hometown, you basically didn't know COVID was happening after the first like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a mask to be seen. Every restaurant just they're like, fuck you. What
Yeah.
do you fuck off? So like everything was open. The stores all closed at 7 o'clock anyways. So, which that still pisses me off. The fact you can't go to Walmart at 3 a.m. anymore. I'm like, let me just be a degenerate and buy hot dogs in the middle of the night, okay? I just have cravings. So
That was one thing that's kind of surprised me about Texas is how many businesses are closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
That I was not anticipating.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember I tried to go to the grocery store on Easter because I didn't I didn't really realize it,
Yeah.
and everything was shut down, and then all the businesses were shut down. I was like, cool, I guess I'm not going to eat today.
It's like, all right.
Yeah. It was
Yeah, one time me and my mom was in the hospital on Christmas Eve, and me and my dad were like visiting with her, and we stayed there late, and then we were dipping out, and we were like, we're so hungry. It's like 1 a.m, and we kind of forgot it was Christmas Eve. The only thing that's open at 1 a.m. is Waffle House.
Oh.
So we went in and ate Waffle House. Just like this like one lady was just in there cooking, serving, doing it all, and she's like, what's up? We're like, we're glad you guys are open. And she's like, why wouldn't we be? And I'm like, hell yeah, sister. Hell yeah. Good point. Why wouldn't Waffle House be open
True.
right now? It's a wild place. I love it though.
You get a story every time you go in there.
We have about 5 minutes left. Would you guys like to do another, would you rather type of question or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. Hit us with it.
Okay, here we go. Would you rather have sex with the hottest person you know that's freshly dead, or have sex with the ugliest and smelliest person but they're alive?
I'm gonna let you take the reins on this.
I gotta really think. That's an interesting one. I'm definitely not into the necrophilia stuff. Like I feel like I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not into as soon as they're dead. And I've had a few not lookers in my time. That's actually probably the alive one. I definitely have to go with the alive one.
Yeah,
But
I would,
yeah.
if it's during allergy season, definitely the alive one because
that's
I
a good
can't smell
point.
anything anyways.
Yeah.
So
The only real
Yeah.
problem for me is like if I'm having sex with a girl, I have to eat her out. Like it's one of my things, and so that would be a
yeah.
problem.
yeah, you'd probably want to break that rule.
I was like, listen, just turn around.
Look, you fat sneaky bitch. Look, you big beluga whore. Yeah, but
Also,
is
one
said-
of them is illegal. So I'd probably go with the one that's not going to imprison me.
Yeah, say, and you don't want to go to jail as the guy that fucked a corpse.
Nah.
That's not a look.
And then you pull up her Instagram and be like, but look how hot she was when she was alive.
Yeah, you're like, check it out. She was still warm. It's not that weird, guys. Yeah. All right. So we're fucking alive ugly bitches.
Yeah. I did
For
have
sure.
to think about it though, because when I was growing up, one of my favorite songs.
How dead?
Have you ever heard the song "A Little Piece of Heaven" by Avenged Sevenfold?
Maybe.
It's terrible. It's like 8 minutes long.
Probably not then.
The whole song is he goes and he kills his girlfriend, and then he buys a space heater for her thighs so it's still warm when he has sex with her. And then she's like reanimated, comes back and then murders him. And then he comes back, and then they go to a live person wedding and murder everybody there and get married. So it's beautiful. In the end, they like worked out, but he just like killed her and had sex with her corpse. And I was like, this song is gonna haunt my nightmares, because I still remember like the kid in 5th grade who was like, hey, do you want to watch a cool music video? And I was like, sick, dude. This is exactly what I needed right now.
Yeah, you're like, you don't have either set of parents, do you?
I was like, wow, you are going to kill someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and watching live from the penitentiary now. Go to that guy.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying. Yeah, because you're like, oh yeah, it's 8 minutes long, but I'm like, no, I've never heard that song. Because I was like, oh, I've heard a lot of songs. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
One's a special one.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. All right, what's the next one, JP?
All right, here we go. Would you rather watch your parents have sex every day for the rest of your life, or join in once and make it stop?
Oh, it's an easy one. Watch this. Watch this. Boom. Parents have sex every day. That would mean my parents were together. So, we're talking about active parents or like biological parents, because that makes a big difference.
I'm gonna say biological, because
Yeah.
But also it is wild from what I know about you that you're like, well, I mean, it'd be better if I could just watch this black dude fuck my mom than if my dad was there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so back to the corpse thing. Gross, JP. Chill out, bro. What the fuck?
No, man. These cut down to the core of our guests, dude. And we need the same from you, Eric, bro. Come on, give it to us, buddy. You got to share with us, dude. Let me see your heart.
If I stab my eyes out, does it still count as watching?
Yeah, but then you have to do what blind people do and feel to.
Is this hard? Is it wet? Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
You losing weight, Dad?
Yeah.
You're feeling good. You're feeling good.
That's the dog. Oh.
Feeling firm, Mom. That's me. That's son. That's me. So.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ.
I'd go with the watching, too, just to solidarity. You
Just
know
to
what I mean? And I'd bang the dead chick, probably, so, you know.
JP just needs to come. He's like, just get it over with.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they never said how long. I guess if you're like pent up for a while, you could make it fast with the dead chick who is at least hot with the fat chick. You might be there a while.
You're like, come on! This isn't supposed to happen until 50!
Yeah. Yeah, so do you have to come with the fat chick, or can you just like spit on her back and be like, oh, you know?
True, does sex to imply coming?
Yeah, so I mean.
But then I've never had sex with a girl. Because they have to come. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying you did. I thought you were doing the old sneaky spit for all your.
That would be a good time.
Yeah, it's a nice little sneaky move for all the kids out there that want to clap some cheeks, but you don't know if you're going to be able to make it through. You just spit on their back and make grunting noises. And then you're done.
Yeah.
And then you're done. But thank you very much for coming here and enduring all this, Hunter. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, my name's Hunter Parker. You can find me at Hunter Parker Comedy on Instagram. Yeah. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah,
it was a great
absolutely. And as always, cheers to birthday boys.
Cheers, fellas.